Okay guys, let's talk about operations within scientific notation. So what I want to start talking about today is multiplying with scientific notation. Multiplying! And I'm just going to shorten it for us to SCI naught. Okay? So multiplying with scientific notation tends to look like this. 2 times 10 squared times 4 times 10 to the third power. Okay? So the really cool thing about this, I'm just going to separate it. These are my front numbers, and the pinks are going to be my back numbers. Okay, so when I do this, the first thing I need to do is I'm going to take my front numbers and multiply them. So I have 2 times 4, which equals 8. Then I'm going to take my back numbers, and I have 10 squared times 10 to the third power. Now, with scientific notation, it's kind of cool. All we're doing is keeping that base of 10. Because scientific notation always has that base of 10, we never have to worry about saying, I wonder what the base is. It's always going to be 10. And then all we have to do is add the exponents. Whenever we're multiplying scientific notation, just add your exponents. So 2 plus 3, which equals 10 to the fifth power. Now, I'm going to combine them, and I get 8 times 10 to the fifth power. And this is where I have to check myself. Is this number, is 8 between 1 and 10? It is. So, yay, I don't have to do anything to it. I can just kind of leave it. And that's that one. But what happens if we have a number that's not? So, for example, if we have 3 times 10 to the negative second times 7 times 10 to the negative fourth, okay, just going to help us highlight. So our front numbers and then our back numbers. I love highlighters for math, guys. It's one of the best things ever. They are fantastic. So my front numbers are 3 times 7, which equals 21. And then our back numbers are 10 to the negative second times 10 to the negative fourth. Remember our base is 10 because that doesn't change. Now we have negative 2 plus negative 4. So that's pretty much saying you borrowed $2 from your mom, and then you went and borrowed $4 from your dad. You still have to pay both of them back, and in total, how much do you owe? Good, you owe $6. So even though, you were able to go to two different sources, you still owe a total of $6. Sorry guys, that doesn't change. I can't help you with that one. When I combine them, I end up with 21 times 10 to the negative 6. We have a small, teeny tiny problem. This is our small, teeny tiny problem. 21 is not between 1 and 10. So what I have to do is I really need to take my decimal, remember the little one that follows you around all the time, and move it one place to the left. When we move it one place to the left, I need to add 1 to my exponent. So this becomes 2.1 times 10. So I've borrowed $6. Good news, I got $1 so I can pay back one of my parents. But this still means that I owe how much? Good. You still owe $5. You're not completely off the hook, but you're getting your debt down, which is kind of nice. So this is how we multiply with exponents. And then remember, always check your answer, make sure it's in scientific notation. Now, one of my next ones, we are going to divide. Dividing. Dun dun dun. No, I'm kidding. Dividing is pretty much the same thing. So let's say we have, a lot of times they'll look like this. So 21 times 10 to the third, and then we have our quotient line, 3 times 10 to the eighth. And for our purposes, I'm going to go ahead and highlight again. These are my back ones and my front numbers. So remember how when we were multiplying, we took the front numbers and we multiplied. We're dividing now, which means I just need to take my front numbers, 21 divided by 3, which is 7. And then I'm going to take 10 to the third divided by 10 to the eighth, because those are my back numbers. The difference, remember when we multiplied, what we did with our exponents was add them. We are now dividing, so what do you think you do with your exponents? Good job, we subtract. So it's 3 minus 8, which is 10 to the negative fifth power. And then I just need to combine 7 times 10 to the negative fifth. Check to see if my answer is in scientific notation. Is 7 between 1 and 10? It is. That's awesome. So I'm doing pretty good. Let's try another one. I kind of like this. Let's make it harder. 42 times 10 to the negative third divided by 6. And this wouldn't really happen because 42 is bigger than 10. But just for now, just go with it, okay, please? 42 times 10 to the negative second power. Now, let's color code this. Here are my front numbers, even if they're kind of just imaginary for me, because you could never have 42, but you guys know that. So what I'm going to do is, again, take my front numbers. So 42 divided by 6. Oh, look, that equals 7 again. I guess I have 7 on the brain. Then I'm going to take my back numbers, 10 to the negative third divided by 10 to the negative second, which equals 10. And remember, we subtract them, so it's negative third minus a negative 2. Okay, so this is what trips people up all the time. Remember when we're subtracting by a negative, what that really does is turn both of them into positives. So then it is really negative 3 plus 2, which is 10 to the negative first. So don't get tricked by the negatives. Negatives are our friends most of the time until they're trying to trick us. So then I just rewrite it. 7 times 10 to the negative first. And again, I ask myself, is this in scientific notation? 7 times 10. So 7, is this between 1 and 10? Yes, it is. I don't have to do anything. Everything is wonderful. Yay, let's get on with our lives and everything else we want to do. Okay? Good luck. And these are the two main ones that you really need to worry about with scientific notation operations in 8th grade.